So I'm ready to get in here and get this journal here finished. So this is going to be a bearing fit here, and then we've got our threads that we're going to cut there for the bearing lock nut. Alright, so that's what we're going to focus on this video. We're going to try to get this finished out, and we may go ahead and get our diameter here finished out as well, our shaft fit. So what I want is a tool that's going to machine from here to here and clear the shoulder out here. So I got a few options, a few flavors to pick from. I'll show you what I got. These are some V&MG tools that insert as a V&MG. And this is one that I had acquired, I believe, at the flea market that I've never used yet. But I'm going to mill the bottom of it in order to use it on my lathes to get it dropped down to the proper center height. And that's a unique tool there, the way you can reach in there and kind of get in the odd spot. This would be a perfect tool for if I needed to get in there and do some facing. And I could use this to turn from here all the way in there. All right. But like I said, I need to mill the bottom first. I just haven't done that yet. This is a standard V&MG tool right here, and this one will work fine as well. I can go in there, I can kick this on the right angle and go in there and turn this all the way back to that finished face without hitting right here, as long as I turn it right. So this is the one I'm going to start with. Now I don't know if that's going to give me the finish that I want. That's a number 2 radius on that insert. So we've got our D&MG insert, and this is one you've seen me use quite a bit with that really nice Ingersoll vibration free insert that I like. And this one will work as well. I can get in there and kick this at an angle and go in there and finish this out. So depending on the finish that I'm getting with this tool, if I don't like it, we may switch out and use this one, because this will leave a nice finish. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. I want to check my tool height again. This is the Pro lathe gauge from Edge. You just square it up against the workpiece and rest it on the tip of your tool there. And that one looks like it's pretty good, pretty well on center already. Alright, so this journal here, we've got 50 thousandths to bring it to size for the bearing fit anyway. But I need to go ahead and turn this down first, so we'll start with that. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and set my tool to that face. I'm going to run in here and just touch it. And then we're going to use our nice little Hackmaster mag backed indicator. Set us a 0 stop point. So I got the tool at the right angle so that it does not rub that shaft, you know, that shoulder there. Just touching right there. Alright, so I got a 0. I'm not going to go crazy on these cuts. We're just going to kind of take it easy. Let's see what the tool wants to do here. The 4140 is really helping make a nice chip there. I think we're close enough now there. We can go ahead and after this cut we'll go on down here and touch off and make a pass. So I got about 50 thousandths. I'm going to break that into 3. I'm going to take 20 thousandths. I'm going to slow my feed rate down. That's going to be 5 thousandths per rev. I want to see what kind of finish we're going to get. Kicked it up to 420 on the RPMs. Let's see what happens. That looks pretty good. we'll make that cut and we'll see what it looks like. All right, that was our first pass. So our finish, our target size is 2.562. For the guys that don't know Imperial, that's 2 9/16 for you. Now let's see how I'm doing on taper. By the way, I love these Brown & Sharp mics. It's got that nice friction thimble there on the barrel. 75, 85, 95, 94. So that's 594. 594. $5.94. Okay, so we're cutting nice and straight. That looks like maybe 2 or 3/10 deviation from what I'm micing, but that's a nice straight cut. So 60, 70, 80, 90. That's going to leave us 30 thousandths to finish it. The finish is going to be fine. I'll need to try to get it very close to that so that I can do minimal polishing on it. I think we're going to go with it. I'm going to go ahead and kick it up. We're going to run a little bit faster. We're almost topped out on the lathe here. That's 532. I'm going to take 15 thousandths. We'll make a cut and measure. Slightly better. It's doing pretty good. That's going to work. Faster you can run these tools and these jobs, you know, you'll get a better finish out of it. Okay. Yeah, finish looks better. A little bit more shiny. It has a very smooth feel to it with the fingers. So we may attempt our finished cut here. This should leave us with about 17 thousandths. That's 75, 79. I think that was right. I'm trying to do the math in my head here. Okay, so that's 578.5. What did I get here? Not quite 579. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that's 17 thousandths. I'm just, you know, I'm approaching my final cut right here, so this is the one that I really got to be critical on. Most guys are probably going to back off. They're going to take 5 thousandths. They're going to measure. They're going to take another 5 thousandths. I've done my fair share of that myself. I'm trying to minimize the cuts when it comes to this finishing, and that's why you take a series of finished cuts, equalizing the cut so that you equalize the tool pressure, and you should end up on your target. So I just want to figure out what I want to end up at. If I want to end up at 562 or 563. Safer to be on the plus side so that you can belt sand it down. So that's probably what I'm shooting for, 563. All right, so here's what we're going to do. First I'm going to get my scale that I just dropped. Okay. Our journal is going to be 2 3/4 of an inch long. From this line out to here, this is where our threads are. So this is turned down a few thousandths. This is a little smaller. So this actually works to our benefit when you're doing something like this. We're going to come in there. I'm going to dial in what I think I want to take. I'm going to come in there and make a little cut, and I'm going to mic it. And if it's where I want it, then I can just go on with the cut. We know we'll be there. If I'm under, then I can back off and reapproach this. So I'm gonna dial in 16 thousandths on the dial here, and we're gonna measure, or take a little cut, measure it. 5, 10, 15, 16. Okay, we're looking good. I'm at 563 and 4/10. So I'm a little over what I want. 562 and a half would be ideal size to finish this at. Just double checking. Yeah. I'm gonna try to dial in a 1/2 thousandth. Now it'll probably show a little cutting right here. That's okay. There's a 1/2. And hopefully that's our 1/2 thou. All right, so that's it. We'll see if we hit our target here in a few minutes. Now when I get up to this face, I'm gonna zero it, probably dial in another 1 or 2, and we'll back face this to clean it up. All right, let's go in 1 right there. I'm gonna set a 0 on my cross slide here in case I gotta go back in, and we're gonna back it out. It's not gonna leave the best finish, but we wanna make sure that it's cut and straight right there. No, I can't do it. I goofed up. I thought I set that on the right angle, but I wasn't paying attention to facing that out. So right here, if I kept going back, we're gonna end up hitting the tool right here. So I'm gonna have to reset that. Let's just go ahead and do that. It was only 1,000, so it'll be good. Let me see if that will do it right there. Yes, that's where I was supposed to have my tool set. I was 9 degrees off. That's all right. Let's go back in and finish it. Me and you will be the only ones that know this. Just don't tell anybody. I'm using my compound infeed to come in here and just hear that tool touch. There it is. All right. So before I go all movie magic on you, let me grab my mic. And I want this to show up on video without me messing with it. 562 4/10. 562 and 4/10. That is right on it. Perfect. I love it. Okay. I'll do some measuring on this face to see how much metal I took off. I don't think that's going to be very critical. Like I told you on the last video, this is just a little bit of a relief area so that the bearing has clearance there. This is where the race actually pushes up against. So Our next phase is going to be to turn this and thread it for our lock nut. Two thousandths. We're at 0.377. We wanted 375. I don't think 2000 is going to kill us there. Just don't tell nobody. Two and 3/4 is what we want. Alright, that looks like 2 3/4. Get our 0 set, and we're going to be off to the races. Alright, I double checked my 0 stop right there, and we're on it. We're going to be taking a total of 25 thousandths off of this diameter. We're going to finish at 2.537. So we'll touch this sucker. This one is not as critical, but we should be able to hit it. So I'm going to split it into 2 cuts. I'm going to go 15, and then our last one theoretically should be 10. Alright, so we're at 546, so that'll be 9 thousandths. Got about a 1/2 thousand difference on that reading right there. Yeah, we're at 545.5 is where I'm at. Okay, so let's just take, we'll take 8 thousandths. Should put us right there. Okay, let's see if I hit it. I wanted 537. 537. 537 and looks like 1/10. So we did good. Alright, next step. Let's see what we got. We're going to have to do an undercut. Alright, so we're going to come right in here. I got to find a tool and we'll do an undercut. Alright, so we got this Sandvik grooving tool. That's 1/8 wide, and that's what I'm going to use for the undercut. The undercut will be 70 thousandths smaller than the diameter here. I'm just going to line this up by sight. I can go in. I'm going to go about 75 for good measure there. Okay. We'll do some, we'll go ahead and cut some chamfers here next. Okay. May have to touch that up again. I'm gonna have to see if I can thread that without turning that other diameter down. All right, it's time to do our threading here. So this is our bearing nut This is what goes on there. I had to do a little bit of wire wheel, and it had some surface rust accumulated in there. We got it nice and clean. So check the pitch. Got my pitch gauge here, and it is 18 threads per inch. So it will fit on the shaft. What I'm going to do is go ahead and slide it on here. I'll keep it back out of the way, but just to kind of show you. So I ain't got to take the tailstock in and out every time. So we'll get this tool set up, and we'll start doing some threading. So just showing you the machine here. We got her set using the quick change on 18. That's going to be for our 18 threads per inch that we're cutting. So we're in BC. This is in B. This was in C right there. That lever controls your feed rod or your lead screw. So we got it in lead screw for our thread cutting. And then this guy right here, this is our thread dial. I had some people that said they'd never seen the thread dial on my Monarch, but I've shown it many times. So anyway, we'll just focus on the numbers here. We'll just line up on any number, although it's an even number so that you could line up on any 8 points there. We'll just focus on the main lines. Compound set at 29.5 degrees for our end feed. We got our cross slide set to a 0 and our dial stop. All right, thread gauge, here we go. We'll go ahead and just touch off. All right, we're going to set this one to 0. We'll feed it in about 2 or 3 right there and engage it. And then we'll double check ourselves and make sure that we're at 18. Yep. Fits good. It falls right in there. Alright, what I like to do on video right here sometimes is to kind of show you guys, for everybody that's still trying to learn threading. I'm just, without feeding it in, I'm just coming back to my 0. That was a 3. Here's a number 4. And you see that it's lining up. That's number 2. And just for fun, I'm going to hit in between it here. That's between 4 and 1. So you can see it doesn't matter what line you hit on the even thread here. So let's go ahead and stop screwing around and get started on it. We'll put a little oil. Alright, I'm getting real close to what our depth should be. I like to sneak up on it so I don't cut it too big, or cut it too small, should I say. Alright, so that's telling me I still got a little ways to go, which is what I'm seeing on the gauge over here. All right, I'm still a few thousandths off on what it should be on the depth, and I'm checking it here, and you see it's screwing on there. That's actually too tight still, because I can feel it rubbing the thread. So we definitely don't want that. So we'll make some really light passes across here. Go ahead and dab it with a little bit more oil. I'm gonna go ahead and feed it in, say like 2 on the dial here. Probably needs more than that, but we'll go with it. But what I'll do is that cut, and then we'll do a spring pass here. That's not bringing any more infeed to this. It's just rubbing where it was at there. All right. I haven't done any filing yet, but it'll need that too on the top of the threads here. It just rolls that little fuzzy edge over. No, we're still gonna have to take some more. See, it's getting tight there. Still a little tight, so we'll go ahead and take a few more on it. And on this pass, I'm gonna go ahead and grab my file. I'm just brushing the top of the threads. Remove any fuzziness to it. It's like that last thread is trying to stick there, but it's going on now. Oh yeah, we're good. We're good. We're gonna leave it right there. Definitely a machinist fit. There's no rock or wiggle. I mean, I can feel a little bit, but you just can't see it. Okay. Just going to go ahead and lightly file it again, and then while we're here, we're going to hit the leading edge and the trailing edge here of the thread. Looking and feeling good. Giving a little bit of polish with this 220. And the last step here is this gray Scotch Brite. Alright guys, I think that's going to be it for this video right here. We got quite a bit of content right here with this, our turning, our threading. So we're going to go ahead and stop this one where we're at. I need to go ahead and get this video put together for you, and then we'll come back and I'll try to do you a quick episode on turning this down and getting it down to size. I'm sure we're going to have to do some turning and polishing there and get it there. And then once we finish that, then we're going to focus on the square thread on the end. We'll make the square thread one episode, which will be selecting a tool bit, grinding the tool to fit the thread, getting the thread measured, and setting it up to do our internal square thread. All right, so see you on the next one.